Welcome to episode 16 of our video podcast. Today, we're going to talk about what to expect during the supported living assessment. Stay tuned.
Okay, so when you think about it, what really makes a house a home,
It's more than just four walls and a roof, isn't it?
It's definitely more. Like feeling safe and comfortable, being able to do the things you want. And that's what we're going to get into today. Supported living assessments in the UK. So buckle up.
Sounds good.
It can be really useful, even if you're not personally looking into it right now, just to understand how it all works.
Definitely. It's
And we're using a great article from Medicare Hub Limited for this. They're a UK company, really know their stuff about healthcare and social care and all that.
right.
So maybe you can clear this up for me right off the bat. What exactly IS supported living? I think people hear it and get a bit confused.
Yeah, it's a bit of a broad term, to be honest. But well, the main idea is to help people, right? People with disabilities or mental health conditions to live on their own as much as possible.
Okay, so it's not about sticking people in some kind of institution or anything like that.
No, not at all. It's really the opposite. It's about, having your own place and getting the right support to actually thrive there. Make it your own.
So it's about giving people control over their own lives.
Exactly, yeah.
That reminds me of, I read this story a while back. This woman, after an accident, she had trouble with simple things, showering, stuff like that. And through supported living, they got grab bars put in her bathroom.
Oh, right.
It sounds small, but it made a huge difference for her. Not just physically being safer, but, feeling independent again.
Absolutely. Dignity, right. And that's where these assessments are so important. They really figure out what kind of support will make the biggest impact for each person, because everyone's different.
For sure. Speaking of assessments, our article mentions social care professionals.
Yeah.
So, who are we talking about here? What actually happens during an assessment?
So most often it'll be a social worker from the local authority. That's basically the government body that handles social care for the area.
Yeah.
They'll meet with the person, maybe their family too, and just talk about, what their needs are, what their goals are for the future.
Okay.
The meeting can either be at home, which I think a lot of people find more comfortable, or sometimes at the local authority office.
I got to say, I think I'd be a bit nervous about someone coming into IOY Home and asking me a bunch of questions.
Yeah, I get that.
Especially, the article mentions some pretty personal stuff. How do you manage your medication? What advice would you give someone who's feeling, a bit freaked out about that?
Honestly, the more honest you are, the better the outcome is going to be. It's not about passing a test or anything. It's about working together, right? You and the social worker, you're putting a puzzle together.
I like that. It's a puzzle.
It takes some of the pressure off. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So, okay, let's say the assessment's done. What happens next? How do we get from all these questions to actually getting help?
Well, then comes the support plan. Think of it like a roadmap to independence. It spells out, what support is needed, how it's going to be provided, all that stuff.
Gotcha.
And it could include, all sorts of things. Home care, help with getting to appointments, maybe even stuff like the grab bars we were talking about earlier.
Right.
And it's all based on the individual's needs. It's tailored for them.
So it's not one size fits all kind of deal.
No, not at all.
This might be a dumb question, but what happens if someone's needs change over time? Is that support plan just set in stone?
Not at all. Things change. Life happens. And that's why they build in regular reviews,
Ah, okay.
So the plan can adapt, stay relevant. It's not just a one-time thing and then that's it. You're on your own. It's about ongoing support and empowerment.
I think a lot of people might assume that supported living means losing control, but it sounds like it's actually the opposite. It's about having more control over your life with the right help.
That's it. Hit the nail on the head. And that's what I really want people to take away from this. Supported living assessments, they're not just about forms and paperwork. They're about giving people the tools they need to live a full life, on their terms, in their way.
Absolutely. So as we wrap up this deep dive, I want to leave you with something to think about. What are the things that make your home life really special?
Good question.
And if you were thinking about a supported living plan, what would be your top priorities? What would you absolutely need to keep that feeling of home?
Yeah.
Keep exploring this topic, folks. The more you know, the better you can advocate for yourself or someone you care about. Knowledge is power. Remember that.
Definitely.
Thanks for joining us for another deep dive. We'll see you next time.
See you then.